This is an Efficiency is Everything article summary on saving money on food using calories per dollar, protein per dollar, and nutrient per dollar. Now, half the website is dedicated to saving money on food, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty specifics that say flour is 6,000 calories per dollar. I'm not going to do that, but I will go into different tips on how to save money at different levels. So I'll start with the least extreme. This is pretty easy. Don't go to restaurants, don't go to fast food, and if you are going to go to them, use a coupon or maybe pick something new that they might be discounting as a loss leader. Don't buy processed foods. So processed food is something that typically goes from, say, farm to factory and then grocery store. So something like milk or potato chips, those are processed. Meanwhile, something like an apple or eggs and milk, those are not processed. So if you can avoid those, you'll save quite a bit of money. Now, we get into more efficiency is everything tier tips. This is where we actually use data. So if you want to eat for about $3 a day, and that is 2020 prices, you can eat carbs like flour, bread, rice, noodles, or oats. And those are relatively cheap carbs. You're not going to get a whole lot of carbs cheaper than that. And then protein, there's lentils, beans, and at least in the US, and maybe less so now, but eggs, milk, and chicken are relatively cheap proteins. And then add a cheap vegetable, whether it's frozen or fresh, those are relatively cheap. I'd probably avoid canned. And you can make a meal with those. So there's a lot of options out there. Add some spices, don't add a ton, but you can add spices and it won't really move the cost of your grocery bill. And then finally, this was kind of the pinnacle of all of our studies so far, the perfect eating, and this hits all the nutrients according to, I believe, the FDA, and it uses the USDA values for various foods. So as long as those are right, these are all you need for perfect eating. Flour, milk, eggs, kale, pinto beans or black beans, carrots, and potentially cheap cereal. And cheap cereal's on that list because it really is cheap cereal. I picked like the lowest cost one and it had a vitamin in it. So maybe it's a little bit cheating. So those are 3 ways to save money on food. There's so much more detail on the website. So if you want to see more, go check it out.